Hi and welcome back. And my question today is, do you drive down to Southampton on the day of the cruise or do you go down the night before and stay over? We always stay over. Whether it's a long haul flight or a cruise, we've always stayed over the night before because I've got this one guiding principle in mind. Your cruise is going to depart at a certain time during the day. And if for any reason you don't make it, it's going without you. It's as simple as that. Southampton for us is about a 4 hour drive. Why would I risk driving to Southampton only to find that halfway down there's been a massive pile up or something goes wrong with the car or some other reason that just makes me late? I don't want that sort of stress. I want to start my holiday in the best way possible. And for us, that is driving down on a leisurely drive the night before, find a nice hotel that's relatively close by to Southampton. So the morning after, we've either got to drive into Southampton town if we've got a late departure and we can have a wander around Southampton, West Quay and all the sites that's down there, or we can just drive straight to the terminal and get straight on the ship if we've got an early departure. Now, I know a lot of people say, oh, it's expensive, we can't afford it, we are sticking to a tight budget. That's fair enough, but I look at it this way. I've spent quite a lot of money getting on this cruise in the first place. I really don't want to risk it for a few more pounds. So what I decided to do was compile a list of hotels that were within relatively short driving distance to Southampton on the morning of the cruise. We don't want to be going halfway down there and driving another 40, 50 miles because the same thing applies. It might be just in that last 5 miles that you have a problem. This has happened to us already. The last twice that we've driven down to Southampton, we've run into either roadworks or a major pile-up on the M3 just outside Winchester. And we've been diverted miles out of our way. We've been stuck for over an hour or two in the traffic waiting to move. And it is such a risk if you are trying to get to your cruise and you've left it a little bit late anyway. So I've compiled a list of hotels that are within 5 to 7 miles radius of Southampton cruise terminals, easy to get to first thing in the morning after breakfast, and you've got that time then to decide what you're going to do, whether you're going, as I say, shopping in West Quay or you're going straight to the terminal and getting on the ship for an early lunch. Now I know not everybody has got the same requirements, so I've compiled this list in a dozen different ways. So after I compiled this list, I thought maybe this is something that actually you, as one of our viewers, might actually be interested in having a look at for next time you go down to Southampton. So it's not just a matter of me giving you a list of 30 hotels that I would personally consider. I've looked at it from a number of different directions. The first one being straightforward star rating. We've gone from basic no star rating all the way up to 5-star luxury. So if you're looking for either a budget hotel or something a little bit luxurious for your first night out, then there's something in there for you. I've looked at it in terms of price. So if you're on a budget, there is a hotel that will suit you. If you're looking, again, for a little bit of luxury and you've got a little bit of a pot of cash that you can spare and make it a more enjoyable night, then there's something in there for you too. I've chosen for the price guide illustration a Friday night stay in May 2026, just for the one night, and I've used that same date for a double room, non-refundable, so they should be comparable in that respect. I've looked at one of the most important things for us is parking. We need somewhere to put the car overnight, somewhere safe, not in a car park 40 miles down the road. We prefer something on site and hopefully in with the price. So I've gone back through this list of 30 hotels and I have arranged them in terms of whether they have parking or not, and whether it's on-site or off-site, and how much it costs us, if anything. What else have we looked at? Well, obviously, one of the key things for a lot of people, especially those who aren't coming in car, they're travelling on foot, and I mean that, but they've come on a train or a bus into Southampton, is the distance from the hotel to the docks. I've decided to use Ocean Terminal at Dockgate 4, which is more or less in the centre of the town, and I've sorted the hotels out into distance to the terminal. So if you're walking from the hotel to the terminal the next day, there should be a hotel in there that is going to suit you from the terms of walking to it. I've also checked on Google Maps to see how long it would actually take you to walk, and I've added it not just in the distance in miles, but in the walking time as well. So that's there for you if you're interested. Now, it's important to say that I have chosen Dock Gate 4, which is the ocean terminal, as the sort of destination point for all the walking distances, etc. for this list. If you are at Horizon or Mayflower terminals, this is obviously going to change somewhat, and it might be that some of the hotels are actually better suited for those that are further away from the ocean terminal. So if you're not at ocean terminal, you might just have to go back and check the actual walking distance from the hotel that you're looking at. If you're catching a train, then again, I have listed the hotels in terms of how close they are to the train station. And just to finish it off, I've worked out the total walking time. So if you're going to be walking from the train station to the hotel and then the next day over to the ocean terminal, it will tell you exactly how long it's going to take you all in to do that walking. So you can tell whether you've got a 15-minute walk altogether or you're going to be looking at a total walk of over an hour. Now, one of the things that's important to us is facilities at the hotel. We don't like to be looking around for food at night when we arrive at the hotel. We prefer just to eat in, or if there's a pub right next door, then we might eat there. Also included in the list whether the hotels have got restaurants on site or not, or if they've got one nearby, or if they've got nothing at all. Now, one of the things that I like to do when I'm stopping over at a hotel is get up the next morning and before breakfast go and have a dip in the indoor pool. So it would be useful to know if those hotels actually had an indoor pool, so I've listed those. Likewise, I've seen a lot of people now incorporate a spa day into the day before the cruise. They find a hotel that's got a fully functioning spa and they go and have a proper pamper day before they even get to the ship. So I've highlighted which of those 30 hotels actually have indoor pools and spa facilities. So if that's something you're interested in, they're on the list too. Have you got an electric car like us? Then one of the things that you might be interested in is whether the hotel has got electric charging facilities. Now, I've listed which hotels have stated they've got EV. I've got to say that the information on their own websites and the booking site is a bit flaky. It's not to be relied on. I suggest if you need to know if they've got EV close by, if you can't find it on your normal Zap map type things, then give the hotel a ring and ask them. The last two hotels we booked through booking.com said they had no EV charging facilities, and we were pleasantly surprised to find when we arrived that they both had. You like a sea view? There's two hotels that I know that offer a view of the docks, and I've included those on a separate page as well. Now, we last stopped at the Grand Harbour many, many years ago when it was still a De Vere hotel. We had reports that it had gone a bit downhill since then, but I think it's now owned by Leonardo. I've not stopped in it since. It's probably 10 years since we've been in the Grand Harbour. It's a brilliant hotel for location though. And if anybody out there has stopped in the Grand Harbour recently, I'd be really interested to hear from you and see what your thoughts were, because I'd like to go back, but we'd been told it had gone seriously downhill and we wouldn't want to spend a lot of money on it if it was in that state. What else have we got? A critical factor for Sue is whether the hotel is disabled friendly. So I've also listed within those 30 hotels the ones that say they are fully disabled accessible, and also those that say no, we're not, unfortunately. And of course, those we won't be trying. Now, of course, along with the star rating, I have tried to give an indication of price as a bit of a guide, an illustration only. It's not set in stone. I'm sure that you will find different prices straight away as soon as you go onto the sites, because they do change daily. But it gives you a little bit of idea of whether you're up at the top end or in the budget market. One thing that's important to note is breakfast, because a lot of the hotels, when you're looking at the most standard price for a double room, non-refundable, don't often include breakfast, and there's an extra cost. I haven't actually listed the cost because, again, they will change. Some of the chains like Holiday Inn Express include breakfast, and some of the chains like Premier Inn do a very good breakfast and evening meal package, which is definitely to be looked at. We recommend it. We generally take it if we use a Premier Inn. But again, that's not included in the standard price. So what I would say is that when you're looking at the pricing, it's very important that you top the whole thing up. You've got the standard price, you've got the breakfast, you've got possibly parking costs. And it's very important that you just have a look and compare all those standalone costs with actually their packages, because sometimes you find further down the list on a booking website that they do a package that is actually refundable. You can cancel the day before. It's got breakfast included, it's got parking included, There's even some hotels actually do parking bundles for the whole holiday, which I've not actually looked at. This is just for the parking for the night of the hotel stay. And it's important that you look at that, because actually you might find a better deal if you just look at the various options and see how they all add up. But the pricing guides, they're really just to give you an illustration of whether you're looking, as I say, at a pretty cheap hotel that's going to do you for the night, or quite a luxurious one, which is pushing the boat out, to say the least. What else have we got? Now, I know a lot of you come down on the train and a lot of you come on buses, and you're limited to how much luggage you can actually bring down with you. I don't know how you manage it, to be honest. We have to have like 10, 11 cases every time we go on a cruise. I know a lot of people who seem to manage out of 1 or 2 cases for the whole 14 days. It's amazing how you do that. So the only thing left to say is, how do you get hold of this list? If you would like to have a look at this list, then it's dead simple. All I need you to do is just pop a comment down on the video and just say list, and I will send you a link to the list on Google Documents. It's a spreadsheet, it's got lots of tabs across the bottom, and you can just flick across them to your heart's content and see which of the hotels, if any, appeal to you, and you can take it from there. When you're booking, I would always recommend you look at more than one booking website, and I would always recommend you actually try direct with the hotel, because sometimes they do better deals than the actual booking websites. I just need to say I've compiled all this information off of internet sources, and I can't guarantee the accuracy or reliability of any of the information because it changes so rapidly. It is just a little bit of an illustration at a moment in time. I just need to finish by saying I'm not affiliated to any of the hotels. We have no association with any of the chains. This is all independent stuff, and it's my own recommendation. I know there are hundreds of hotels in the Southampton area. I can't include them all. I've tried to limit it to those that are 5 to 7 miles driving distance or less. If you know of a hotel that I've missed off the list and you think it actually should be on that list because you've had a good experience, then let me know and I'll update the list and I'll put it back out there so that anybody else who wants it gets that updated information. Similarly, if you are a hotel and you think that you should be on that list and you fit the criteria that I've been looking for, which is amenities stroke distance from the cruise terminals, give me a shout and we can have a look at putting you on the list. If you'd like to invite us down one day to have a look around and stay over, then we are cruising again in 2026, so give me a shout and we could possibly drop in and have a look around, because we do review these hotels, and the very last page on the spreadsheet is actually just a link of the reviews we've already done, because we have actually stopped at quite a few of these hotels now. Haven't got reviews for them all because some of the stays were before we were doing YouTube, but all the hotels that are actually on that recommended list, bar one, I would thoroughly recommend anybody to stay at. I'd have no problem going back to them. There is one budget hotel that it's a personal thing, but I would never ever go back. So that just leaves it for me to say thanks for watching, and don't forget, if you like the videos, don't forget to hit that like button. If you think of something else that I could do maybe that could help you out, then I'm quite happy to have a look at it and post something online for you. So give me a shout if you've got any good ideas for future projects. Until then, I'll say thanks for watching and safe travels wherever you go. Bye for now.